with black leather sneakers, and he's wearing
You know what?
multiple
Somebody's
brands.
gotta Stop moving their microphones around because it's driving all of us crazy back here. This is actually audio, and you got to just make. You got to make do.
It's
All right. So, I mean, that's what it is.
I'll give you one. I give you one guess who's doing it.
Who do you think?
Okay, it's good now. We're good.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Just about everybody that was listening probably said, "What on God's earth is going on down there?" But it's Dave adjusting his microphone so that it's in a proper position while he's wearing a sweatsuit during the broadcast today, which is beautiful.
Well, that's good, Ron.
Welcome,
Thank you.
David.
Appreciate it. Good to see you. How you doing?
All right.
What do you want, Jimmy? What are you looking at me like that for? Don't look at me like
I'm
that.
just thinking when I was watching the movie, the army men telling Andy's opening presents. It's a puppy. That's what you kind of remind me of.
Oh, Ron. How are you?
Good.
Well-
It's not easy being you, is it, Dave?
No, it's not. My boat's still
I'm sorry.
not operational right now. I'm not
You know what I
happy.
like to say though, guys? Attorney DeVecchio, Attorney Melfi.
What's going on
What's
with
that?
my dinghy
The only
case,
thing
by
that-
the way?
The thing
offer-
that gives me
You want
happiness
to talk about on air?
is Attorney Beatrice will be enjoying his boat every weekend now, and he'll be in a
No,
much better
no,
mood.
it's I've had
every weekend. he'll be
no,
up at the
no.
boat
I've had
every
some.
weekend.
No, not going up this weekend. Didn't go up last weekend. I have 5 jury
this
trials
coming
between
weekend.
now and August 18th. The summer is
Well, I
ruined.
don't know that you'll be able. What's the point in even putting it in the water then? Might as well keep it up.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, as a matter of fact, you might want to sell it. I mean, it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to use it much this year. Let's put it up for sale. What do you say? $100,000?
It's worth a little bit more than that.
Okay. 150, you think?
A little bit more than that. Let's not talk about my boat. Let's take some calls, Ron. Do we have any calls?
Yes, we do, David. We do. Attorney Beatrice is ready to take calls, wearing a sweatsuit tonight. He looks like the Jolly Green Giant, according to Attorney.
That would be
Kendall.
He
probably
really-
a good.
He
good accurate
really
description.
just kind of looks like an extra.
I do have some
from
green on.
Platoon, like he's in a foxhole.
I'm not in a foxhole.
Mhm.
Not in a foxhole. I'm a little tired.
You and me
I had a
both.
rough
You
week,
sound
man.
tired.
So did I.
Why-
Well,
what-
Monday morning.
Because you do-
Well, no, Friday. I was down in Tampa on a case I have down there. Flew home, and then Monday morning I had to be in Erie County Common Pleas Court. So that's a 2.5-hour drive. That's 5 hours in the car. Tuesday morning I had to be in the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court. And yesterday I had a mediation in federal court. Yeah,
Okay,
That's,
so why are you so tired? I don't understand.
that's a lot of driving, Ron. It's a lot of miles on
It's
my car.
a lot of swerving and
But how is it going
distracted.
in your new Mercedes? You now are driving a Mercedes.
It's a Mercedes 300 C class. The Frank and Jimmy and Brian say I have to get the windows tinted so that no one sees that it's a man driving the car.
Oh, so they think it's like a girl car, like a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, basically that's what they.
Or a Mini Cooper.
I mean, it's sharp. It is a sharp car, though.
So what you guys are saying, I want to make sure I get this straight. You guys are saying that Dave actually purchased a car that's a girl's car, and that you think he should tint the windows because.
I am
He's a
tinting
guy.
the windows. I'm
So-
absolutely tinting my windows. How about that?
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
How did they tell you that they felt you bought a girl car?
They always
Come on.
tease me. They all line up. Frank, what I did to Frank went on vacation. What I did to Frank was ungodly. As a
He's
oh,
here.
there he is. Look at one of the little lollipop kids showed up. Isn't that nice? What I did to Frank when he was away, Ron, was almost to the point where he thinks he's going to put a lock on his door when he leaves again.
Really?
I
Maybe
stole his, and then I put the stuff on TikTok. I stole his power. Yeah,
Tic Tac.
Tic Tac.
He
Yeah,
had fresh breath.
I stole his power cord.
Mhm.
Frank,
Okay.
here's the problem, though. Dave is just a little cantankerous because I said he looked like an extra from Band of Brothers in his outfit. So now he's going to pick on you.
Whatever. I stole, and then I licked all of his telephone keys and his receiver and his. And I licked his chair.
That you know what I
Yeah.
wouldn't share
I mean, that's
that.
diabolical.
I would not share
It
that.
really is diabolical.
That
Oh,
is
God, yeah.
yeah. That
Yeah, I did a lot to him, and I would send him videos of it.
Yeah, but
Really?
also
Yeah.
what David doesn't know is remember when you lost your phone a few weeks
you should
ago?
post those
you
videos
couldn't
on
find it.
TikTok.
You remember that?
What?
When you couldn't find your phone maybe like 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah. What
And,
about it? Where was it?
well, who
Well,
do
you
you,
don't want to know.
well,
You
no.
don't want to know.
Who do you think if you want to talk about practical jokes, who do you think hid it from you for those 5 hours?
Frank?
Frank and I together. You
Oh,
left it on the
Frank and I.
table and we couldn't listen to the TikTok anymore, so I hid it deep in that cushion.
I see. So what you're saying is you would like some of the wrath.
But I also
Because,
have a
you know,
couple things
Frank
else up
against
my
me,
sleeve.
it's like United States versus Madagascar. He's the little island.
Listen,
He and Brian got little man syndrome. Okay.
just like the invasion
I
of
don't have
Cuba,
old
you
man
think you can
syndrome.
take me out. It'll be like the Bay of Pigs if you come into my world.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Be like the Bay of
The
Pigs?
Bay of Pigs.
Yeah.
You got
The only thing that if I started with you would be Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That would be like Jimmy. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Because I used to operate and I used to be in that office.
Jimmy asked Ron if he knows who Vincent the Chin Gigante is.
Ron, do you know who Vince the Chin Gigante is? Because Frank wants to know.
They're making fun of me
He was
because
the mob boss.
Yeah,
who
he
ran.
he
He ran the family, and he wore a bathrobe and was real disoriented, and he tried to act crazy
Yes.
to fool the FBI. Right? Beatrice has taken that look on now. That's how he
I
comes
have
to work
not.
every day.
With the things
but it's
they
actually
have
reality.
Ron, the things they
He
have
wears
done to
dress
me.
socks with the same pants every single day. He's
No,
not
I
in a
do
suit.
not.
He comes like he's an army man, like one of the green
I-
army men
I
from Toy
absolutely-
Toy
Story.
Story. That's
Yeah,
what I said to
what he
Ron.
is.
Yeah.
I absolutely do not do that.
And
Okay.
he's been getting his
I
haircut at
stole.
PetSmart.
There's a little bit of larceny in all of us. I stole a lot of things from Frank's office. He hasn't realized the full breadth of everything that I've stolen from his office.
You also missed what Frank just said. He said you've been getting your hair cut at PetSmart.
Probably.
Is that why my groomer bill for my dog's so high? Is because
It
you're
is.
sneaking in
It
there to
is.
get your hair cut?
Do you think the two of you could beat me? You really think Frank's got to go to baseball? I remember those days, Frank. Thank God my sons weren't athletes.
Yes. They took after their father.
Yes.
Who, incidentally, I always like to remind our listeners, was a thespian in high school and had a starring role in Hello, Dolly.
That's right. I was Stanley the waiter.
Right.
Do we have any phone
Yes,
calls?
we
Do we have
do.
any legal calls, Ron?
Yes,
Perhaps
do.
we
Would you like
could
to
take some legal. I would love to take some calls.
All right. In his sweatsuits, here is Attorney David Beatrice and Company. You're on the air. Hello.
Yes, I have a question. I'm at wit's end, and I don't know what to do.
Go ahead, sir.
So, okay, this has started about 8 years ago. Water line broke in front of my house, flooded my garage, and about a year after, I seen my retaining wall and everything, steps and everything started to move. Okay, said, okay, it's too late. I can't do nothing about it now. Before Thanksgiving of last year, the water line broke again, destroyed my driveway. See where the retaining wall was even moved more now. Flooded my garage again. I lost like $2,100 worth of stuff. The water company's telling me unless I give them receipts, brands, and everything, they ain't paying me, and they took everything. Now they brought an engineer up here, their engineer. He was here for about 5 minutes and said, "This is Mother Nature and Ohio weather." Well, fortunately, my nephew is an engineer for the state of Pennsylvania. He said the only thing they could tell you in 5 minutes is if it was their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what to do. I had my insurance company out here. I have flood insurance. They said, no, that was surface water. We can't do anything for you. I don't know what to do.
How much are you out?
Excuse me?
How much money have you lost as a result of these two water breaks?
Oh, for the stuff that I'm asking for that was destroyed in my garage, like $2,100.
You could take them to small claims court.
Okay. But what do I do for the rest of it, though?
Well, I asked you how much.
Said,
I asked you how much your damages were. You said $2,100.
that's for the stuff that I lost in the garage.
His small claim would probably exceed the damage for the retaining wall and the steps
How much
and
is
everything.
it to repair the retaining wall?
I have no idea.
I would get you're going to have to get an estimate.
Yeah.
You're going to have to call somebody. You're
And-
going to have
and
to get
e-
an
and the-
estimate,
and
and that
the-
becomes part of the damage
And the
equation.
wall and the retaining wall or something is shifted.
The retaining wall's moving. My steps are moving around the house.
Caller, what I would
All
do,
started.
what I would do if I were you is I would get at least 3 different appraisals to determine how much it's going to cost
Right.
to bring your retaining wall back to its original state, how much it's going to cost to repair the steps. And if it's under, and I think 15,000 in some small claims courts are the max. If it's under that, you could take them to small
I
claims.
think it's 8,000 now, isn't it?
It's
Jimmy?
about 8,000.
Yeah. Okay. So if
And
it's
caller, I'm not so sure that you shouldn't have a lawyer look at your insurance policy. I mean, that's something that sounds like it should be covered. They said it's groundwater. Have you notified the city and the city has said, well, here's the point. If the city is saying it's groundwater or flood and your insurance company's saying it's their fault, not both of them are right, correct?
sue them both.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the city. It's Aqua. The
Well, that's
city's not
even
Aqua.
better. They're a private corporation.
Yeah, they don't have immunity. They don't have sovereign immunity because
Yeah.
they're not a municipality. So, yeah, they're an independent company. You could sue them directly. That would be wonderful.
So what do I do? I'm at my wit's end. You don't
Call-
have to battle
Get all
Okay,
right.
go
step-
get estimates to get everything fixed and replaced, and then hire a lawyer and sue them. There's the quick
Okay.
answer. Okay.
All right.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for
Thank
calling
you.
in.
You're on the air, News Radio 570 WKBN. Welcome. Wait a second here. I got to do that. You're on the air with our attorneys. Hello.
Yeah, am I on?
Yes, sir.
I have a question. It's springtime, and we recently posted on Facebook that we had some yard work in that we wanted to get done, and we had over 30 people respond. My question is, we haven't done it and haven't used any of those people yet, but my question is, if we hire somebody off the internet to come in and do yard work, what is our liability if that person comes and gets hurt or seriously hurt on our property, or if they damage the neighbor's property in doing the work, or damage our property?
Well, it would.
In general, what's the liability of hiring an individual to do that type of work?
It depends on what kind of injury was suffered, the
And
reason
how.
the injury was suffered, how it was suffered. Are there any defects in your yard? You know, are they open and obvious? You know, you're inviting this person onto your property. You owe a duty to keep
No,
him safe.
no,
No, if you're
Well,
paying
they're
him,
social at best. They're a social. They're not a business invitee.
if he's paying him,
He's not a
if he's
business
paying him to do,
invitee.
if he's paying him to do
I
yard
don't
work,
think they'd be classified as it.
No,
best.
I
Hiring-
think
yeah, he's hiring him.
he's
Money's
an
changing
invite-
hands.
Caller,
Hiring a
here's
stranger off of Facebook.
I'll give you a couple examples. So, say you have some sort of sinkhole in your yard that you know about, and it's covered with grass. This guy walked through it.
And you didn't warn
Yeah,
them.
didn't warn him. He,
Probably, but that's what
Yeah.
you have homeowners for.
yeah, you have homeowners insurance for these types of things. But if this guy sets up a ladder and falls off the ladder, I mean, you know, that's on him.
That's
Or-
on him.
Hey, can I give? Let's give them non-legal advice. Caller, why would you hire somebody off of Facebook?
When you can hire Ron Verb, a
No,
reputable.
hire a reputable company that has workers' comp and insurance.
Yeah.
That's in the business. I don't care if it's roofing or whatever that you're doing. Hire that company. The guy on Facebook could be a guy that doesn't have any of that stuff. And I don't care if
That's-
he's doing
that's
a roof
some-
or whatever. It's
That's
dumb.
some sage advice.
just like the color of your shirt.
No, sage is either a spice
Did you
or
hear that, caller?
wisdom.
Sage is a shade of green.
Yes, I
No,
get
it's
it,
not.
But I have a further question on that.
What is
There's
it?
a lot of people out there that have a truck and the name on the side of their truck that says they're, John's Lawnmower Shop or John's
Well, hire a reputable company.
whatever.
Okay, hire
You're
a-
allowed
Contact
to
the
see.
Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, and you're allowed to see a copy of their workers' comp or their insurance policy.
Find out if
they do
they're
work.
insured, licensed, and bonded
Yeah.
if they need to be. Yeah, you could ask all those questions before you hire somebody, and then sign a contract. Make them sign a contract as far as
Or
date to
I
start,
got a
date to
better
complete.
idea. I have a better idea. You have a Google machine at your house?
Sure.
Why don't you put in lawn services near me? And you'll get a list of businesses that provide that service. And then you could Google their reviews and see what people say about them.
That's kind of what we did, and it's not so much just lawn service. What we were actually having done is having some patio stone removed. And if we had the patio stone removed, the person could even keep the patio stone. And we got a large response, but I'm just afraid about letting somebody come on and
That's what you have homeowners for. Don't worry about that. That's what you have homeowners insurance for. You have homeowners insurance?
Oh, yes.
All right,
Sure.
then don't worry
they
about
have a
it.
duty to defend and provide you a
Yeah,
lawyer.
don't
so
worry about
worry
it.
About it.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Is that
AOL?
us, Ron?
I think that might be. I'm just looking back here till it happens. That might be
Tornado.
some of our other listing areas. Just all right, caller. Good luck. I always say hire a reputable company. You're on the air. Next call. Hello.
You're on medicine.
Ron, how do you get through?
I don't know. You're
They're
on
one
the
of
air.
your
Hello.
escapees, Ron.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So at work, part of yearly, we have to go in and fill out a form that says we agree with all the anti-harassment and hiring practices and things like that. This past year, they made us watch a video of things that could happen in the workplace. Part of it now is showing me video of transgender people, women in compromising things, doing compromising
All right.
things
Stand by,
together
guys.
and-
Stand by.
Expect damage to trees and power line. What's happening?
They're getting a weather warning.
What is the weather warning?
Hello, everyone on Facebook and are we on Instagram too?
Tell them our phones are.
Have
back
we
on.
ever figured out our
YouTube,
TikTok?
too.
Have you ever figured out TikTok?
No, because I'm not the premier of China.
Wait, I thought David said he was going to figure out before Leo does. This table, this is outrageous.
Things of that nature, correct?
What is your exact question, caller?
Anti-harassment training and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your
So
question?
So part of the videos I don't want to watch. I don't think they're appropriate to watch.
All right, hang on.
So-
I got to get you to hang on again. I'm going to get back to him. I got to do the headlines at 5:30. We'll get back to our attorneys. That caller, stand by. We'll get to his call and more after this.
We're training.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor.
Ugh,
Mike Waltz
I'm
is being
tired
elected
as
to become
heck.
U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. President Trump announced the nomination.
Had a
on the
couple
same
good
day
weeks.
Reports surfaced that Waltz would resign as his national security advisor. Waltz faced scrutiny for mistakenly adding a reporter
Yeah,
to
we-
a Signal group chat that discussed
April
plans for a military
ended with,
strike. Over 69 million people are
explosion.
facing the threat of severe
Yeah,
weather.
and it started
In
with an
Pennsylvania,
explosion.
the storm system may bring heavy winds,
So-
hail, and possible tornadoes to several states. The strongest
Mark?
Yes.
Dave?
It's
Okay.
an at-will employee state.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like the videos and he doesn't want to watch the videos, he could quit the job and go find another job,
Or they could fire.
or
him
they
if
could
he-
fire him for not watching the videos. So he doesn't have a lot of standing if it's required and you are to watch videos on proper workplace conduct. You have to watch the videos to maintain your employment, or you go find another job. It's just that simple.
You could close your eyes.
Yeah, he could close his eyes, put in earplugs, read the newspaper, which is typically what I do at CLE seminars. But, you know, these are all the things you could do.
Right. So he has options.
Yes. Well,
But the company says this is part of the training, and we'd appreciate it if you would take it. And like you say, you can kind of take it, and it can go in one ear and out the other, right?
you could take it and you do with it what you will, or you could leave it and go find another job.
You know what I was thinking, Mark? Can you imagine Attorney Beatrice taking this type of training with his his ADD?
But
Can you imagine him sitting there trying to watch some training film for 45 minutes?
we have
There are times
here at Beatrice Cop, we have extensive training on proper ways to handle uncomfortable situations, especially those involving David.
There's just no truth to that. There's just no truth to that. You know, if
Like
anyone
when he
causes
steals the lunch,
trouble
when he
here,
steals
Yeah.
Murphy's lunch
if anyone has a problem here, it's little Frankie.
Little
Okay.
Frankie.
When little Frankie was away on vacation,
Yeah.
I went in, and honest to God, it looked like he had a suit hanging up, and it looked like you were buying it at the boys' store, at like Dillard's. You remember they used to have the
Granimals.
not Granimals. It was above Granimals, but below young men. It was boy size.
Was it near your section of Portly?
Not even poorly, but I stole a handkerchief from one of his suits. Oh, there's a lot of stuff I stole from his office.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bye.
He's got to take inventory.
Oh, he hasn't felt the full wrath of what I've stolen from his office.
Right.
That's
It
going to
always-
be on a video soon. We'll
it
be
always
watching.
Reminds me, Mark, one of my favorite stories when he's making fun of Frank's suits. Looks like it was, a little kid's suit or animals like that.
It was a little kid. I mean, his arms, they're like, I swear to God, my forearm is longer than his entire arm.
Right,
Okay.
but it reminds me of when Dave was a young man and his mother took him to the Husky department.
Right.
She did. I still have nightmares of this.
Ron, he glossed over it. I said he shopped in the Portly section and he didn't even say
And I'm
anything.
still in the Portly section, and I don't care.
Right.
I don't
Now
care.
he's just
Jimmy,
giving up.
Jimmy, there is nothing you could say to me that would affect me.
Like
You might as well take BBs and go shoot him against the brick wall.
like calling you pear shaped, you wouldn't. That
nah,
doesn't
it don't
affect you.
bother me. It don't bother me.
Okay.
Nothing. Nothing you say, but nothing anyone says bothers
Sticks
me.
and stones.
You know,
break
you
my
know-
bones, but words
You
will
know,
never hurt me.
yeah, when you get to my stage in life, and you've been through
Overtime, you mean?
you've been through everything. I got the hide of a rhinoceros. I do. I look like a rhinoceros. Okay,
No.
I do.
What in the calendar? It was
Oh,
the guy
that's
from
funny.
the Adams family, right?
What was his name?
I forget.
Lurch.
Yeah,
Lurch.
Lurch. Yeah.
I don't look like Lurch. I'm not that tall. But Frankie would be. I'm trying to think what character Frankie. He'd be like a little bit.
Cousin it.
No, he'd be sort of like Yoda, only a little bigger.
You know
Yeah.
what? My favorite though.
Insulting
my
you
favorite
are.
story is-
Insulting you are. Okay? He's turning into Brian, by the way.
Yes, he is. That's
I'm
not a
telling
bad thing.
you, I was sitting with him today.
It's not a bad thing at all.
I know, but I was sitting with him. He's just slowly turning into Brian. He's slowly. I mean,
So you're
it's.
saying that you're saying
He's
that
like
I'm
you.
going to
You remember the movie The Pod? People like you'd go to sleep, you'd wake up someone different. That's what Frank's basically happening.
But I mean, think about that though. That's a beautiful thing. If Frank is turning into Brian, because Brian is one of the most intelligent, thoughtful, terrific lawyers that is around,
And has
it
and is
wins malpractice
completely
time and time again.
and is
Brian is-
completely a
Brian is
mental
turning into-
disorder called obsessive compulsive disorder. Brian is
No.
OCD.
Now let's take the other hand on what direction Frank is facing two roads. He could turn into Brian, which is a good thing, or let's say, for example, He went the other direction, the evil direction. Whereas I remember when a guy tried to get off jury duty, when Dave was questioning him, the guy merely said, "I hate that guy. I can't be on the jury."
Right. I thanked him.
Right.
I thanked him. He says, I hate him so much that I wouldn't believe one thing that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, my next thing. Anyone else feel that way?
Yeah.
That'd be my follow up to that.
They might not be able to see the jury then. You know what I mean?
Mistrial.
But you know what, gang? I'm gonna tell you this, and you guys can take it for what it's worth, DeVecchio, and you
Yes.
can, Melfi, as well. Over the years, I'm going to tell you something. Dave Beatrice is one damn good attorney, folks. I mean, this
Well,
guy
thank
is
you, Ron.
smart. This guy is a smart attorney. He is, I mean, he is really a smart guy and does an excellent presentation in the courtroom. And I mean, over the years, I can tell you I have a world of respect for what David Beatrice has done as an attorney. You won't find a better attorney, a smarter attorney. And quite frankly, they have fun at the office, but they all have a lot of respect for each other.
Oh yeah, we have a.
They've
I'll
only
tell you
hired
what,
the best.
we have a really great working group, and we
I
hired.
mean, Frank is a damn good lawyer. You
Well,
gotta admit
yeah,
that,
but
in all kidding aside.
he is, but you know,
Come on,
sometimes
admit it.
he's a
And
good
Melfi's
lawyer.
a
But
damn good lawyer.
oh,
I'm
Jim, listen to
impressed
me.
with Melfi.
I'm very impressed with Jim Melfi. Jim Melfi is very good. Frank, sometimes when you say, Frank, come on, stand up, he goes, I am. But besides that, okay, what, Jimmy?
Do we have to go down that road?
He,
Because the next thing you know, Jimmy's going to.
is he 5'2"? Do you think?
No,
Do you think he's 5'2"?
No, but it was rude when you said stand up when you talked to me, and he was standing up. I thought that was rude when you did that.
Why?
Yeah, because it was just.
How tall do you think Frank is? Is he 5'2"?
No, he's 5'7", 5'8".
No, he is not. No way, Frank. Maybe with the lifts in his shoes. Okay, that's why he doesn't wear socks, because he's wearing those lifts. Okay, he puts those 2-inch lifts in his shoes. Okay, and it makes him 2 inches taller. That's how he's 5'7".
Now you know this. You know, Dave. You're going down a road to when you're not on the program.
But
They're going to be talking. About
ask
your
me
shape,
Yeah,
your waist
I-
we are
size.
going to
ask
abuse
me if I care. Seriously,
Deep down, I think you do.
I
know
do
you
not.
do.
I
What do you mean you
absolutely.
don't? Why do you
I
say that? You work
abs-
out incessantly.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't work out to have a great body. I work out to keep my cardiovascular system in health and then
And
keep
how's that
in.
working out for you?
I'm in good shape. I fell down and my digit. Look, this is permanently like that now. I broke that finger.
He fell down and he couldn't get back up.
Right?
My
You get that
digits,
button,
my
you push.
digits are very much in. They're at risk. They're at risk.
Really?
My automobile accident, I didn't break my thumb. I had like a little break. Then I fell. I broke my index finger. My left foot, I broke my toe. My right foot, I broke my big toe.
Speaking of-
broke
Let me
my
tell-
little
let me
toes.
Let me tell people the real story here, this automobile accident that I want people to know. You know, and Dave's not going to tell you this. When he got in this automobile accident, even though he had some injuries, wasn't his fault. Somebody hit him. Before Dave did it, he got in an ambulance. Before he took care of himself, Dave said, all of my files and my briefcase, he gathered them up and he secured them because nobody could go through his client's files. And they never left his possession when he when he was taken in the ambulance and he went to the hospital. Only when his wife showed up did he turn the file, all of that information over to someone.
Yeah, now
he knew he
she's
could
suing me
trust.
for all the money I hid from her. Okay.
Now stop it. Stop the joking around. So even when you had all of these problems, you know,
My
with this auto
clients always
accident,
come first with me.
right. Your clients come first on all of that stuff, and they couldn't even get you out of the car until all of that stuff.
No, they
was
were trying to
secured
move me into
for
the
your
ambulance.
clients. Right. So let's start. You know, I stop all the kidding for a time because you're a damn good lawyer.
Well, thank
You're
you.
really smart.
Thank
You're
you.
really
I'm a
good.
very
You're
good lawyer, and Frank's very
Great
small in
closing
stature.
arguments.
What?
And Frank's a damn good lawyer. Stop
He
picking
is.
on him.
I made
Melfi's
no-
very impressive.
I-
And Vecchio's the best. at
I
what he
made
does.
no comment about Frank's
Okay,
agility,
then don't
agility
say-
or
I don't
ability
talk
as a
about his
lawyer.
size.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
talk
he's
about his
small in stature, and he's got a
how tall
little
are you?
bit of a Napoleonic complex.
Right, you're like 6 foot, aren't you? 6'1"?
I am
You're tall, guy.
a little over 6 foot. Brian's
so-
5'6". I think Frank's
Yeah.
5'5". I really do.
All right, Brian's one of the best lawyers around. You'll find on
Yeah, but he's
Malpractice, and
small
Frank's a damn
too.
good
He's
lawyer.
and his OCD is just over the top anymore. Jiminy,
Mhm.
what do you think of that? Jimmy, you have anything to comments say?
Let's take some more calls. Let's take some calls because I think we'll have to go back to the game at 5:50. So we got about 10 more minutes. All right, you're on the air with our attorneys. Hello there.
Hey, guys, I have a question, and I don't know how easy it is going to be to prove mental anguish. I'm looking for compensation for some mental suffering, which includes feelings of fright and distress, anxiety, depression, psychosomatic physical symptoms. And I don't know how easy it is to prove
What caused all of this?
The first 10 minutes of your show every week where you try to figure out which microphone you're talking about. Because
That's good.
Week after week. I mean, Dave can captain a $500,000 yacht and get all those followers on Instagram, but he can't turn a microphone on it.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
He also
take
can't
on
remember
that.
any of his passwords. Jimmy, what's my
caller.
password?
I
Caller,
hate
if you
these
find any type
passwords.
of treatment program for that,
And not
please
that I'm
let me
bragging,
know
it's a
so I
little
can
bit more than
cover it.
$500,000, but not that I'm bragging.
Caller, I need treatment as well. I'm with you. 100%.
All right, I do have a serious question for you guys, and I don't know how easy it is to go down this road, but I had a LASIK procedure, and it didn't come out as planned. And during one of the subsequent follow-up visits, the doctor said, very off cuff, he goes, "I think we did to your right eye what we should have done to your left eye." And as a result, I'm wearing glasses now. I've gone through some expense of having some follow-up procedures at another facility. Is it worth going down that path, or is it just best for me to just wear glasses and just kind of move on?
Look, we have a rule on malpractice cases. You have to be dead or seriously injured, blind, deaf, something like that.
Yeah, and you're subject to caps too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's caps on your non-economic damages on a claim like that. But what you're saying is they operated on the wrong eye, because you're not guaranteed an outcome of a procedure.
But listen to what the caller said.
Yeah.
I understand. He
they
doesn't
reversed
know
the
that.
odds.
He doesn't know that. And it would cost them money to find. Who was that?
No, come on now here.
Okay.
This is serious. So
No, it is serious.
What you're saying is, Jimmy, please address this. They did the right eye what they should have done the left, and vice versa. How is that not malpractice?
Well, I'm not saying it's not malpractice. My question was, is that what occurred? Because if it's just a bad outcome, you're not guaranteed an outcome from a medical procedure. Not every procedure is successful. And then if there's issues that are known risks associated with the procedure, those are not actionable. But if instead of doing what he's supposed to do on the left eye, he did on the right, he could have a case.
Like, for example, if I go in to get my gallbladder out and they take the appendix out, I think there's a case there. What this caller is saying is they operated on the wrong eye.
Right.
There's
Well,
got to be malpractice there.
there should be. But also what you said, Ron, in your example, sometimes you go in for a surgery and they find other things and they do more work.
Well, typically with the LASIK surgery, I don't know that they always do both eyes at the same time. And sometimes they'll do one and then the other. And I don't know if this was a case where they only had to do one eye. And I didn't hear the whole call because I had to go answer the door.
Yeah.
They did both eyes simultaneously.
Okay, they did both eyes. And you're saying that after they, on your checkup, a follow-up, subsequent follow-up, they said we should have done to your left eye what we did to your right eye.
That's correct. Yeah.
When you say they said they should have done, what did they do to your right eye that they didn't do to your left eye?
So, well, one of the eyes was to be corrected for far vision. The other eye was to be corrected for near vision, and they reversed those. The eyes have a different strength to them, as I understand it. So the laser would have been used different on eyes. So they basically used the laser on the right eye to the strength they should have used on the left, and the left to the right. If that makes sense. And I'm not, listen, I'm not looking to buy a big house or a boat or anything like that. I'm just wondering if, if it's worth going down the path to pay for, the subsequent visits I've had at other facilities. And, I'm paying, $1,100 for a pair of glasses every year now that I thought I wasn't going to have for 20 years,
Is it, can they go back in and correct it? Is it correctable?
I got to be honest honestly, not with them. I mean, they did 6 follow-up procedures, and I was like, that's enough. and
Wow.
and it couldn't be corrected. So that's why. And listen, I'm living my life. I'm okay. But I just was like,
Well,
I guess I'll just say this, and I don't mean to be callous. I think you have malpractice there, but is that a case that firms?
There's
like
not
us
many. The
would take
damages
on?
aren't
Damage
enough. They're
there
not
because
significant enough.
We'll stand up to a jury, and then you see 6 people wearing glasses, and they're saying, "Okay, so what? We wear glasses." And I don't mean to slight your situation whatsoever.
Caller, I think you are, Jim, because if that was you, tell me you wouldn't be furious. You go in and get your vision corrected, because I've been through this LASIK procedure and it went fine. If you're screwing up, if you do the right eye what you should be doing the left eye, this is a permanent problem that this caller has for the rest of their life. This is not
all right, but
and how is that not malpractice?
Well,
No, we're not.
It is.
We're not.
No,
we're
it
not
is
saying it's
malpractice.
not
But how do you
malpractice.
quantify his damages? How do you put a dollar figure on his damages?
Well, okay, let me ask you this. If you bring a malpractice case, do you not think they would settle it before it actually went to court, because they know they're guilty?
Not if you don't have quantifiable damages. You have. It means you have to put a dollar amount on what he is, how he is out, how his life has changed.
I just got up from my desk and bumped my knee into the table. Ouch. I may have damages now. Does that count?
Well, I mean, if if you're walking into things, if your vision's affected, if you can't drive, if you can't have a job, if it's affected your marriage and your husbandly duties, if it's affected your relationship with your children so much so that you're now in counseling and you're on antidepressants, now you have quantifiable damages.
Ridiculous in glasses, so I think it is entirely possible.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate it. I think he had it. Listen, guys,
We agree with you that they screwed up, and
can I ask you a question though? I hung up on the caller. He's this guy got the shaft. His eyes were messed up because of those guys and their procedure, their incompetence. He is entitled to something. If that isn't malpractice, he's entitled to something. But you guys are acting like, what are you going to?
No. All right, let me turn this around. Ron, what's he entitled to? You tell me what he's entitled to, and then tell me why.
In my estimation, I
yes,
think at least 500,000 or more, because he went in for a procedure, and because of their incompetence, they reversed the eyes.
I will say
the rest of
this:
his life.
if Ron Verb is God and that is $500,000, I'd love every case Ron Verb says.
Well, no, I'll tell you, give me 500,000 and I'll wear glasses for the rest of my life. You know,
but that's not the point. He was, I've been through LASIK. I know my children have been through it. I know I got a daughter that's going to be going through it. I think I would be furious if that happened.
Being furious, being negligent, committing malpractice. There's no argument there. You have cause to be furious. You have cause to be angry. You're inconvenienced. But once again, it comes down to how has your life changed where you could put a dollar figure on it? What is he not able to do now that he was able to do before the surgeries? How has his life been profoundly affected so that we could somehow get an economist to put a dollar figure on it? An economist that we have to pay big bucks to come and testify. So does it make sense? These trials take a lot of money. It's a parade of experts that all charge a lot of money to testify.
For you to say a doctor that does the right eye to the right eye what he should have done the left eye, and he gets to skate on that, I just think it's wrong.
And also too, you got to understand it could be the robot too. There could be an issue with the robot. So that's another defendant.
Still, it's their fault.
No.
I got to go to the Guardians.
Yeah.
They're coming back. Thank you, guys.
See you, Ron.
See you, Ron.
Brought to you by Beatrice Scott.
Are we done or we're done?